Hey, everybody. Thank you once again for tuning in. You're listening to the Total Buckets podcast. Not baseball, not total bases, total buckets. We're changing gears a little bit. Felipe, you're in the middle of the baseball season. Why are you talking basketball? Well, that's because I invited my good friend Jacob Moses for the evening. Jacob, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, brother. Thank you for inviting me on. And, we get to talk about your great season, my horrible season, but, it happens. It's basketball, it's sports. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, and I tried to summarize my season, and obviously, you guys listening wouldn't know because we haven't talked about the fantasy basketball league in a while since I, I guess James Pinos was on it, but you've been on it before. I think you were on it the first time around,
Yep.
and after losing my first game to Leon at the very beginning of the season, it was a pretty close matchup. I actually felt pretty good even though I lost, I actually feel pretty good. I feel like I'm a couple of moves away from winning that game. Like if I would have
Mhm.
started certain players, I would have won that game. I mean, obviously Leon could say the same thing, but I felt good. I felt good. I didn't panic. My team was a little bit on the younger side, a little bit more, chasing upside as we talked about throughout the draft. But since then, I have won 23 consecutive games in a
Crazy.
row to finish the season off 23 and 1, which was a monumental performance by me. I was not expecting that much dominance. I was expecting. Listen, bro, I always expect to make the playoffs, and I always expect to be a championship contender every
Mhm.
single year. That's just my expectation. Whether it works out or not, that's like you mentioned. That's the way the ball rolls, and a lot of variables that I can't control, like injuries and
Yep.
playing time, and
Mhm.
Dennis Schroeder getting traded like 17 times before the trade deadline. Poor guy, man. But I mean, let's face it, Dennis Schroeder really really made me feel good about how my season was gonna go. Like after a month or so.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll talk to you since you're Mr. Basketball over here. But I mean, Dennis Schroeder, I think he's in his 30s now, and
Mhm.
didn't he? Wasn't he offered like a multi-year contract with the
Yes.
Lakers? What was the story behind that again?
I want to say it was the Lakers, and he turned it down. Well, he's in the case of, I'm hot right now. I think I'm a commodity that everybody's going to want. I can get my, as we call it, we get our back, get his bag, and never came. So he had to take the smaller deals, and there you go.
I
Um,
mean, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, now I'm gonna look now.
Okay, yeah, but it's a case of betting for yourself, and which is
Mhm.
very encouraged. You see that all the time. He bet on himself and he won, but this is the opposite side of that. You bet on yourself and you lost. Take the L, and but it sucks because now it's like he's on a crossroads in his career, right? Because we don't
Mhm.
know. Well, actually, nobody knows what to make of him. He looks great on really bad
Right.
teams, and when he's on a
Mhm.
good team, he has to come off the bench. But I'm looking up his age, which I probably should have typed that in. What's his
He's
age?
30. He's 30.
He's even 30, actually
Yep.
31.
31. He just turned 31, I
Back in
believe.
September, 31 in
Yep.
September. Wow,
Mhm.
man.
So
Go ahead.
now go ahead, go ahead. I'm looking
Uh,
at
I,
I
I
went
was
to
gonna,
put it.
s- I was just gonna say, like, I remember when he was drafted, and I actually liked him, man. He's speedy,
Mhm.
traditional point guard, distributor, can create his own basket, like a homeless version of Jalen Brunson today. So, like I said, he looked great with the Brooklyn Nets, and then he got
Mhm.
traded to the Warriors. Like, okay, well, that's a team full of talent.
Mhm.
Maybe he can still at least get me close to 25, 28 points a game. And nope, just relegated to mop up duty. And in case Steph Curry's hurt, then they'll call his number. But very inconsistent play time. And then he did the comment about it's like slavery out here. No, wait,
Yeah.
it's a horrible accent. He's German. Is this like slavery out here? Uh, the trading of players like the cattle is just ridiculous. Un Scheiße. Um, and next thing you know, he gets traded like 17 more times and before the
Mhm.
trade deadline to the Pistons, which let's get to it. I'll share my screen now, and I am talking about Dennis Schroeder because he basically bailed me out against a very tough opponent in Bob Milliken. I want to talk about him as well because Bob, I mean, Bob, I'm really proud of what Bob did this year because it just seemed like it was a culmination of things. But let's get to Dennis Schroeder first. But yeah, 27 and a half points doesn't seem like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but with Cade Cunningham, because I have Cade Cunningham on my team as well, with Cade Cunningham being out, and I told you guys, I'm really concerned that if Cunningham comes back, he might sap into Schroeder's time. But
Mm-hmm.
Schroeder had some decent games before Cunningham returned on Saturday last week, and I'm like I'm dying at like I don't have anybody else at guard. Let's see who should have I who should I have started instead? Because Schroeder is now Cunningham's backup, so you have the handcuff situation going, which
Mm-hmm.
ironically enough, I always say don't do that. I hate that, but yeah, Brandon
He
Pachemski.
was. Yep.
I guess that would have been the obvious choice, but I never know what the Warriors are doing, like because he's not the main guy. Curry is the guy. Jimmy Butler is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Even Draymond Green will get you a ton of points, and I'm missing a bunch of other. Oh, Jonathan Kuminga, and help me out here. Who else is on that team? I
You got
can't.
Trace, Trace Jackson. Then you got Gary Payton second. You have him if he's healthy, he plays. But B-Pods, he really carved out a niche for himself on that team. So I really think you would have been good either way.
Yeah,
But
because my other guy that I would have counted on was Scoot Henderson, and he's just been persona non grata with the
yeah,
Trailblazers, which really sucks. Remember, was he a
mhm.
second pick overall
Oh my
last year?
God, yeah, he was supposed. You thought the talent is there. The talent is there. It's just he has to slow himself down. I think he
Mm.
tries to move too fast, not playing within the offense, and then it just hurts his game even more.
Yeah, because there are days. I mean, there are some games where you look at him and what's on concussion? Okay. Well,
Hmm.
even then, he was getting inconsistent minutes with the Blazers. There's 30 minutes there. That's a good score, 34 and a half points.
Hmm.
March 25th against the Cavaliers. That's a tough matchup. The Cavaliers are doing
Hmm.
pretty well. But then look, the 23 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 31 minutes. But it's inconsistency. 20
Yep.
and a half points, 16.75 points. That's a good game on March 12th against your New York Knicks. But then the previous game against the Warriors, the Pistons, the Thunder, just either doesn't get the playing time or he does get the playing time and he just doesn't take advantage of it.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna go way back here where it looked very promising. Where I almost felt bad for you guys, but January 14th and January 18th against the Nets and Rockets, 50 plus points. And I'm starting to think, okay, the Blazers are coming to their senses because before that it was same old, same old.
Hmm.
19 minutes in Detroit for a paltry 3 points, fantasy points, and so I figure, okay, he's turning the corner. New year, new scoot. Mid January, we're scoring 50 points, close to it against the Bulls on the 19th of January. He's getting the
Hmm.
playing time, and then it's all downhill from there.
Yep.
Look at that. That's embarrassing. And it's just like who I know that the Blazers are young. I know Denny Avdija had a pretty darn good year this year too, from
Yes,
what
he
I
really
remember.
did. He found his home. I was really rooting for that guy to take the steps forward that he needs to show that he was being handcuffed in Washington,
Yeah,
and there it is. He's pretty good.
there was other players involved. I guess I could have stayed on the CVS website. Yeah, I think I could stay on the CVS website because that's where our thing is. That's where our league is at. Depth charts. I
Mhm.
go to depth charts and then go open up a new tab and then check out the Blazers. Oh, but they do it this stupid way. Oh, I don't like that. But anyway, let's go down to Portland.
Mhm.
Yeah, Delano Banton. I have no idea who that is.
He played. I want to say, is he on the Raptors or did he get traded?
Yeah, I'm leaning on you, man, because you got me there. I'm not even gonna
I'm
lie. I don't know who that guy is.
I'm
I've never heard of
pretty
him.
sure. I want to say he plays for the Raptors. So unless he got traded, no, yeah, he was on the deal. Oh, never mind. He's on the Blazers. He
Yeah,
must have been on the deal.
he's a 6'8" guard, but
Yep.
he's listed as the point guard for now. But 6'8" shooting
Mhm.
guard. That's how desperate the Trailblazers are right now. Where was he? Yeah, you're right. The Raptors. Then he got traded
Mhm.
to Boston, and then
There it is.
he ends up in Boston, gets traded to Portland.
Hmm.
But yeah, not much to brag about here.
No.
Anthony, and then you also had Anthony Simons on that team and Shaden Sharp. So they got some talent
Hmm.
at the guard position. Obviously, Simons is out with what? What is that? Oh, it's a forearm. So
Yeah.
that looks like a recent injury. I don't even know how Simons did this year.
Yeah. You didn't hear too much about him. He wasn't, you know. with Dame leaving, you thought he would take, I mean, a major step up, but it was
Yeah,
all right.
how bad was it? Let's see. Trends. I don't know if the intent was to talk about the Portland Trailblazers, but 45. He had some games. What about the last 3 weeks? 28.
It was okay.
That's okay, but not nothing earth-shattering. Put it this way, they're not missing. He's not gonna make you forget about Damian Lillard
Mm-hmm.
anytime soon. Matisse Thybulle or Thybulle. I know
Title.
76ers, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Defensive specialist.
You got Chris Murray also, the rookie from last year or 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan Murray's brother, I
Keegan's
believe,
brother.
right?
Yep.
So yeah, this should have been Scoot's team to take over, and
Mm-hmm.
but I honestly think that they just love Danny Avdija more as the point forward. I'm actually looking. Well, there's Jeremy Grant. It seems like he's always on the Blazers,
Oh yeah, they've been trying to.
even when
I
he's
think
not
they've been trying to
around.
move him for years. Yeah, he had to
They trade him and then they bring him back and then they're gonna trade him again.
be.
But yeah, there's Danny and he's hurt too. The Blazers are on tank mode, man. Kind of like the Jazz, and the Jazz almost cost me because I got Keontae George on that team as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he was getting inconsistent playing time, and we don't know what the Jazz are doing. All we know is that they want to tank, so they're sitting all their best players. But I got lucky that Keontae George actually did play a bit to the point where he
Mm-hmm.
almost got 30 fantasy points in the
Yeah.
championship game. But yeah, I also was weak at small forward, but thankfully
Mhm.
Tyler Hero.
Yep.
You tell me what that means, but Tyler Hero does qualify at small forward, and he saved my ass because after that, I got nothing but power forwards and centers on my team that are worthy of starting. And Draymond hit a wall. I mean, 27 points is respectable, but he hit a wall those last 2 weeks, and I don't know what it is, but he was I couldn't trust him anymore. Look at that. Oh, that's not. But before they got to this point, Jacob, I mean, he basically
Mhm.
was the steal of the draft as far as I'm concerned. I believe I got him in the 10th round, and I couldn't believe it. Like a 10th round guy, Draymond Green is available, and he
Mhm.
qualifies at center. And yeah, we make fun of him that he's a quadruple single, quintuple single. But fact of the
Works in
matter is he.
fantasy.
But it works for fantasy because as long as he's padding the stats, even in games like this where he's only scoring 6 points on
Mhm.
March 28th against the Pelicans. I thought I could highlight it, but yeah, he's scoring 6 points. Oh, so let me highlight 6 points, six personal fouls, 6 points, one block, two steals, six assists, five rebounds. It adds up to 28.7 points. I'll
Mhm.
take that from the center position,
Yep.
and he's so capable of so much more. But I don't know what's up with him.
Getting
Uh,
old.
go ahead.
He's getting older. And that stuff here. Your name's not LeBron, and then Father Time is catching up.
Well, he needs to do whatever drugs LeBron is doing to. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm a '90s kid, man. I've been betrayed before. I know what's up. Tell me a guy our age is gonna be that good, that long. You're right. Chase Jackson Davis is listed as a center. Let's see who's the power forward on that team. Draymond
Mm,
Green, yeah, and
Draymond, then they got Kuminga,
yeah,
Curry, and B
Butler. If they
Pod's
want,
Butler. There we go, Jimmy. Huh?
yeah, when they want to go super small, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. When they want to go super small, you put Jimmy out there. You put B Pods, Kuminga. Yeah, I mean it's an athletic group when they put it together, but except for
Yeah.
Draymond.
And this is Moses Moody's the guy who went to UCLA, and he's that part of
Mhm.
that GIF, right, where his teammate puts his head up. That's him. Yeah, and oh wait, no, that no, who am I thinking of? I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Moses like Moses Brown.
Thank you. This is Moses Moody, a 6'5"
Mm-hmm.
swingman, and yeah, Moses Brown is the center I was thinking about.
Hmm.
All right, never mind. My bad. My bad. Uh, but yeah. So ironically enough, guard wasn't a lot of options, but when you got a guy like say Gilgeous-Alexander, you can get away with certain stuff, right?
Damn
So,
sure can.
and usually this would have been an open and shut down case with Cade Cunningham, but as you guys can see from the score, it was super duper
That's a good
close.
one. That's a
But
good one.
yeah, and he has Bob has Nikola Jokic scoring 80 freaking points.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to my team really quick, I mean, I think the big difference was here was Onyeka Okongwu and Jalen Duren for the Atlanta Hawks and the Detroit Pistons, both centers for their respective teams. Just remember, people were kind of like questioning why I made those two picks, especially the Jalen Duren one, because I thought I made that one a little bit too early, but I just love that kid's upside. I really do, and
Mm-hmm.
they were long-term picks
That's
because
smart.
well, yeah, but if it doesn't work out, then I look like an idiot for for doing that. But it was pretty risky, but it paid off. It didn't pay off right off the bat, but it did pay off eventually. And these guys, this is how I mean, Jacob. As much as I get accused of being a stats guy and too analytics for some people, I think I told you before. When it comes to basketball, I just look at projections and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do too many complicated things. There are no fan graphs
Mm-hmm.
for basketball. If there were, I'd probably be on it, but there isn't. So I got to make my own projections, and really just all vision and just trying to see how this is going to work out. And this is exactly how I envisioned it. It's not going to be right away, but eventually these two players right here, Okongwu and Duran, are going to be instrumental to my success because I was counting on Adebayo and Draymond Green as my starting center and
Yeah.
revolving door at the utility spot. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, if you want, I mean, we can even go back to see what this team looked like at the beginning. Go back to period one against Leon's team just to show you how much I've grown. And it's the anatomy of a championship caliber team, I guess, right? But there it is. It started out with Shea Gilgis, Tyler Harrow as shooting guard, Scoot Henderson scoring 29 points. That was. I thought I was onto something with Scoot Henderson right there, Jacob. I was so. It was all a dream. There's Cunningham, Carl Anthony Towns at power forward, Evan Mobley at the forward position. There's Adebayo, Green at center. Again, Green only scoring 17 points, which I was already getting mad, but it's okay. It gets better. And then Keontae George was my util spot with guys like Dennis Schroeder scoring 35 points off the bench,
Mm-hmm.
and even Jalen Duren uh, showing dividends right off the bat. Even on Kongwu showing dividends. But this was around the time where Okongwu was still doing that 50-50 split with Clint Capella. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this was the dream right there. Okongwu and Duran at the end, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, he ended up benching Draymond Green and I guess Scoot Henderson,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the anatomy of a championship. But like getting back to Bob's team, I don't want to shortchange him either. Just when you have Jokic, man, you.
You're good.
Oh
You
my
had the
goodness.
perfect, like y'all both had the centerpiece. Like you need that centerpiece on a team that can carry it. And then you had two guys on each side on their respective teams, like two of the best in the West that can carry the load. And you guys did a really good job. Like I said, you went with the youth. I noticed what you did. It was smart. It's something I usually do. I try to go with youth. But Okan, you got the perfect storm when it came to Duran because we all knew his upside. And then
Yeah.
Okongwu was the same way. If he got minutes, and I've seen him play, a lot against the Knicks, guy can rebound, put backs, he can pass the ball a little bit, and he was going to get you points. But it was the perfect storm of how you put the team together. And there
I'm
you
glad
go.
I'm glad you noticed because every year I look at my team and I look at other people's teams like, man, why do I do this to myself? How come I just where's the star power? I
Mhm.
never have star power. Like if I were to mention my team to casual NBA fans, they would
Mhm.
be who? Like owls, like they work for Drake or something, like OVO owls. Who? Who's Keontae George? Who's Scooter Henderson? Dennis Schroeder still in the league? Who?
Mhm.
And
But then you
Tyler
got
Harrow, the guy from the Jack Harlow song, why is he on your team? Is he actually good? Yeah. Look how good he is. I mean, I am so happy to have Tyler Harrow, man. I've been keeping an eye on him on
Mhm.
his progress the last couple of years, and I'm so glad that he fell to me. And Evan Mobley's a guy, it seems like James Pinos and I are always fighting to get, and I'm so glad that he didn't get him this time around, and
Mhm.
so I was able. And Bam Adebayo is my hero. I love
Yeah,
all these guys.
that's my
I'm
guy.
just in love with. Right? Yeah, exactly. And limited upside, yeah, but every once in a while, man, he'll just go
Mhm.
crazy and get like all these points, all these rebounds, block 5 shots. It seems like, and
Mhm.
out of nowhere, he how many did he? Oh, he had 4 blocks in last week. Still not bad, almost a block a game there. And then the other thing you'll see that him and Bob and I have in common is our centers. He has
Mhm.
Jokic, Nikola Vucevic, and Jaren Jackson Jr., and I went with a trio of Bam Adebayo, Onyeka Okongwu, and Jalen Duren. And
Mhm.
that might be the secret sauce for next year that a lot of teams, a lot of the fantasy leaguers in our league
Mhm.
are going to notice and maybe go after is to get 3 or 4 really good centers and
Mm-hmm.
most importantly, really good centers with some upside. Well, I
Yep.
mean, 'cause, I mean, you see the difference here is Jokic, Vucevic, Jackson. Those are established star centers, I guess,
Oh yeah, you got it
with
right.
a high floor, right? Or well, how do you
Mm-hmm.
see it?
No, they're already, like I said, already established. You know, Jokic, we don't have to talk about him. You know who he is. Vucevic, he'll give you, as a Bulls fan, you know what he does. I mean, he can score, he can rebound a little bit. 3J, get your 3 pointer. He can still shoot it. Can't run away from the DNA, as I always say. He can shoot the ball, he can rebound, he can defend. So that's a deadly trio. And then you have the young upside of Evan Mobley on the upstart Cavaliers, who's doing their things. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
Kongu playing out of his mind. He had his best. I think he had his best year. I mean, we can even check the stats. I'm pretty sure that's the best year he had in his
Oh,
career.
easily, easily.
Oh, Jalen Duren, the Pistons, they're going to the playoffs this year. So obviously he must have been doing something right along with Cade Cunningham. So yeah,
Yeah.
those three on both squads, it was bound to be a great matchup.
Yeah, but the differences are there. My guys are, like you say, younger, except for Bam Adebayo.
Mm-hmm.
But even he, I don't think he's been in the league for that long.
Nah, he's like
27 years old. Gee, 7 years right there.
yeah, I was supposed to say about 6'7".
So
Kentucky,
yeah, and then Jalen Duren he's barely old enough to drink.
22.
21 last I checked, but yeah, maybe he's 22 at this point. Yeah, 21. It still shows as 21. Savage
Jeez.
here. So he's barely old enough to drink at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Okong was 24. I did double check that. And I think the
Yep.
big difference here is that my guards actually did show up.
Yes.
Malik Monk is listed as a forward, but I always see him as a guard. But yeah, him
Well,
scoring only 22 points.
mm-hmm.
And then Fred Van Vliet, I
That was his
Waterloo.
kill right there. Yeah, yeah. That was his great value Drake, as I call him. But yeah, he can't. That's the one guy he's better on the bench than he is starting in your lineup because he wouldn't give you enough. With Jalen Green's pretty ball dominant, and you got other guys in that lineup that needs the ball. I mean, so Fred Van
Yeah,
Vliet kind of got
exactly.
lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, because and last year this would have been a good move to make,
Hmm.
but this year we're seeing the emergence of Jalen Green and Amen Thompson.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and this is exactly how the Rockets wanted it. Yeah, remember they were asking, well, why would the Rockets sign guys like Dylan Brooks and
Hmm.
Fred Van Fleet? And this is the reason. Yeah, you'll get a good season from them the year before, but now they're playing the veteran leadership role to
Hmm.
the max, and it's the Amen and Jalen show,
Yep.
Green and Thompson. So, and I'm missing Alperen Sengun as well. I mean,
Yep. Sengun. Can't forget
yeah.
about him.
So yeah, I looked at this team, and maybe the difference was also Jaden Ivey getting hurt for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that
That
was
that
huge.
that was crushing to see, and that may have messed up. Yeah, because he was averaging 30 points. If Jaden
Hmm.
Ivey's playing, I'm probably lose
Yeah,
easily.
because Cade Cunningham wouldn't have been so, they relied on him a lot,
Yeah,
but he answered the call.
yeah. Let's see, what was he doing before he got hurt? Well, obviously, I saw 30 points on
Hmm.
average, but let's see some of these weeks. 46 and a half in week 9. He had 40 in week 4. So yeah, he was coming onto his own, even for a shooting guard. He was a very serviceable fantasy league or top bet. Well, maybe top echelon is not the right term, but yeah, he's up there. Yeah, the way I see it, if you could score in our league, if you could score 30 fantasy points a game, you're set. Obviously, if you want more, more is better. Obviously, also if he would have started Drew Holiday over FV squared,
Hmm.
he probably would have won, but. I mean, I could play that game too, but yeah, I think looking at my guards, I'm a little bit more limited than he was. So
Hmm.
I'm glad it worked out to my favor. But by the narrowest of margins, like a 1 point, maybe 1.5 point, if I could actually do math here, by 1.5 point margin, and I
That's the closest one we've had, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, congratulations to Bob for also having a good season. Basically, the number 1 and number 2 seeds faced off in the championship matchup. And let's go to the players.
Mhm.
Like what kind of, whoop, that's not the right window. There it is. Sorry about that. Let's go to the players and what type of players are we talking? Jesus Christ. That's not what I wanted. Let's go back.
Let's clap it up for Bob though. He honestly, he I mean, in the beginning, he wasn't sure where he was going to go with his team.
Yeah.
I believe he had a few injuries, but he made some moves and he stuck with it. So you got to commend him on it. He was.
Thank you for bringing that up because I was gonna try to call him out, shout him out on that one. Because remember
Mhm,
when he first started in our league, he
mhm,
was kind of experimenting and trying to figure it out. And
mhm.
the thing I love most about Bob is that he's very vocal with that stuff.
He
Like,
is.
well, and he's and I wish I would have I would have remembered to reach out to him to see if he can call for a few minutes and just talk to us for a little bit. But
Mhm,
we're already we're already
mhm,
into and knee deep into this one. Um, but yeah, he'll say like, okay, well, last year I tried going with the upside, but this year I'm gonna play it safe. Okay, last year I
mhm.
played it safe, but now I'm gonna just go for more potential. And okay, well that didn't work out. Okay, well maybe I might go younger. Okay, maybe younger player doesn't work. I'm gonna try to
Mhm.
go with guys who never get injured. He's always like adjusting, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
what it's about. It's a game of
Mhm,
adjustments. So he doesn't sit on his laurels, and he tells you the game plan, then he executes the game plan. So
mhm.
that's what I love about Bob, and Bob did really try his best out here. I mean, he looked kind of scary about a month or two left before the playoffs started, and I was like kind of looking. And I say, oh man, if I have to face Bob in the playoffs, I might be cooked, and I was close to being cooked. So but yeah, I was anyway. I've talked enough. But I was gonna ask you if you're in a similar situation and you have like Dennis Schroeder, Cade Cunningham with the calf injury, but he might
Mhm,
return to at least play one game. Now, our
mhm,
league is set up with by average for those who don't know. So
mhm,
you take the number of fantasy points you score in the given week, divide that by the number of games you played
mhm.
that your players step foot on the court, and that is your weekly fantasy score for that period. So with that, all I needed was one good immaculate game from Cade Cunningham, which I did
Yep.
get, but he was on my bench when he did it. He scored 42 fantasy points. Now, what would you do in that situation? You got Dennis Schroeder, you
Okay.
might go with Brandon Podziemski, and then you still got Cade Cunningham. What would you do in that situation if you
I
were given that choice?
I would have went with obviously Schroeder because you knew he was going to get the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go with the plus. Like I said, who the hell do the Toronto have? I think he is the starting point guard, isn't he?
Who, the Schroeder?
Yeah.
No, he's the
Now,
backup to Cade
is it?
Cunningham.
No, 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 no. Is he? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
no,
with
no,
he's with the Pistons
no,
now.
no. Remember, Schroeder?
Yeah.
Oh, he was Toronto. I'm losing my mind. Okay.
Well, he keeps getting traded, so of course you're confused. He keeps
Okay,
getting.
that's what it was. My bad. I'm sorry, people. Okay. So yeah, if he's the backup and Cade Cunningham's out with the calf, you know they're gonna bring him back slowly, knowing the playoffs is on the playoffs is on the horizon. I would have started Schroeder too because obviously he was gonna get more minutes. So
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna bring him back slowly. Schroeder can he can eat, do his thing, and you reap the benefits. So either way, you really couldn't lose, but it was smart to put Schroeder in what you did because obviously coming back for an injury for your franchise player, you got
Mhm.
to be smart with it. And all NBA coaches wouldn't have rushed him back. I mean,
Yeah, especially a team like the Pistons who are trying to get into the playoffs and
mhm,
are thinking about it. It was a very tough decision. I kept
yeah,
losing sleep and pulling my hair about it, but a small part of me wanted to start Cade Cunningham,
mhm,
but this is the luxury of having the handcuff, which again, I never suggest people do, but in this situation, it kind of worked out in my favor.
mhm,
But it only worked out that way because Dennis Schroeder kept getting traded. So
yep,
here's the leaderboard for the season. It's the usual suspects. Nikola Jokic, once
mhm,
again, the only I think this is I don't remember what he did last year, but I'm pretty, I'm 85% sure that once again, he's the only player to average 60 fantasy points a game. Obviously, ends up on Bob's team, and that's why
mhm,
Bob was able to get away with a lot of his lineup. And
mhm.
for a guy just like me, like there were weeks, Jacob, where I swear to God, I would forget to set my lineup, and it didn't matter. Or there were times where I would just mess around and just fiddle around with my bench and like I
Mhm,
was a real NBA coach. I'm gonna mess around with my rotation this week. I'm gonna start playing guys I normally don't play, and
mhm.
that ended up working too. Like it's like no matter what I did, like no matter who I started, they were gonna do well for me, and it just felt it almost. I think Angel brought it up. Like this is a really juggernaut season for me. And that's a I hate to toot my own horn, but that's really what it felt like. It's
No,
almost
it's
like
good.
video game. Like I was
That's
playing
crazy.
2K. So anyway, there's a
Oh, you
leaderboard. Go ahead.
Sam
I'm sorry.
Malicio. Call you
Um,
Sam Malicio over here. Sam
Sam
Presti Malicio.
Sam Presti Malicio. No, I'm just not. Well, hold on. Well, I'm yeah, you're right. I'm collecting talent. I'm not just collecting draft picks for sure.
You
But
know.
there's a leaderboard. Jokic is the usual, MVP caliber players. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's on my team. The
Hmm.
third best player according to fantasy points. There's Luka Doncic, even though he's only played 48 games.
Hmm.
I think he's on Mike Harvey's team, the number four player. And rounding out the top five is Victor Wembanyama, which again, injuries. And then here's a difference maker, Cade Cunningham on my team. I have two guys averaging 50 points, fantasy points a game, and I think Jacob, you can figure out who I'm going to keep for next season.
Oh yeah, it's obvious. I mean, you got the two guard and Shea and freaking Cade. I mean, you gotta go with them.
Yeah,
That's your nucleus right there. That's easy. That's easy money. Not easy money sniper, but easy money. But I mean, no, it's definitely good though. Those two is easy keep, and then you just build from there.
the only concern I have doing that is that center dries up very quickly, and I'll have the
Mhm.
12th pick overall. So a lot
Mm,
of people are gonna keep two players, obviously, and I think they're gonna see what Bob and I did this year, and they're gonna be like, yeah, you know what, I may just keep a center for myself, and
mhm.
maybe they're because you guys left a lot of centers on the table.
Oh,
I felt like during the draft,
yeah, 100%. Usually, because you know me, I usually go, big because I like to get
yeah,
my points and my rebounds and so much blocks and stuff like that. But
right.
I went away from it. But I have a strategy for next year. Definitely had a tough year. Didn't see it coming. But like I said, it's just didn't draft the way I should have. Tried something new, but you go back to the board. You live and learn.
Absolutely. I mean, proof here. Like, I'm always competing, but I mean, this was
Mm-hmm.
last couple of seasons wasn't easy for me having Luka Doncic,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I wasted his prime years on my team not winning a single damn championship. But you live and you learn, and that's why I went out of my way to get all these big men,
Mm-hmm.
uh, not just centers, but also making sure that some of them qualify at power forward just
Mm-hmm.
because of the versatility, but also get guys that fit the mold that I'm looking for. Young, energetic, hustle guys with upside like Jalen Duren and Okongwu and Bam Adebayo. Although we know who he is, but that's the type of
Mm-hmm.
center I'm looking for. I'm always looking for the next Bam Adebayo, and then of course I got Cat in the first round, and for a
Mm-hmm.
while even CBS was like, "What the hell are you doing, bro? That's LeBron James is available too, and he qualifies at center. What are you doing?" But I love and yeah, can you imagine me having SGA, Cade Cunningham, and LeBron James on the same team?
Crazy.
Oh, you guys, then we wouldn't be talking about Bob being close. It was open and shut case, but the and yeah, LeBron played 68 games. Carl Anthony Towns played 71 games. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't even use the idea of like, well, LeBron's older, he's gonna break down, and he's injury riddled at this point. No, he played three less games than Cat. So I can't even use that as an excuse. But I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna. But yeah, that's the so how many players? One, two, three, four, five, six. Six players finished above 50 points. Anthony Davis was pretty darn close at 49.97 fantasy points per game, but he only played 49 games to match his actual fantasy point per game outlook, which is crazy to me. But yeah, for only 49 games for AD's Unibrow, which is Alex Robertson's team.
Mm-hmm.
And there's LeBron James. What number is that? This is what I don't like about the CBS website. I wish they would have the rankings on the site. But one, two,
Yeah.
three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Top eight player
Mm-hmm.
at the age of what? How old is he? 38 years old now, or is he?
Crazy, man.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
he
He
might be
is
40.
40.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
40.
And we've been talking about LeBron. It seems like we've been not
Yeah.
just we, the general we, the collective we, not the Nintendo we, but everybody consensus thought thinks that LeBron James is washed. And you watch a lot of like the preseason fantasy basketball websites and
Mhm.
podcasts, and everybody's like, "Oh, I would stay away from LeBron James this year." It seems like that's like every single year we get told
Mhm.
that, and every single year LeBron James just shows up to work and dominates like always and gets none of the fanfare. But what he do? I mean, oh my God, look at this. Since we started the league, we've been told, "Hey, LeBron is washed, man. You don't want a LeBron James on your team. He sucks now. He's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be the AD show. Oh man, Luka Doncic is on the team. Look,
Mhm.
what has LeBron done with Luka Doncic? Oh yeah, 57 points against the
Reduce.
Warriors, 54 against the Grizzlies. I'm not sure if Doncic is playing, but the fact that he's still posting 40 plus points fantasy games,
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, Jacob. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really quite remarkable. Will we learn our lesson next year? I guess is the question I want to ask.
We saw greatness. I mean, we've been seeing it since 2003. That plain and simple, man. That's all. That's it. Fantasy well, I mean, unless he when he hangs it up, then you're not, he's gonna not be on the team. But he should always be rostered, as you can see, 100%, and he's gonna produce. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a winner. I mean, he's a winner. That's what he does, and no hesitation with taking LeBron ever.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. We'll see if Primo actually gets to keep LeBron James because he has both Victor Wembanyama and LeBron James on the same team.
Ooh,
But
that's
his team
tough.
was, what's that? I'm sorry?
That's tough right
Well, he
there.
gets two of those guys, but let's not forget Primo also made the playoffs, and we're gonna
Yep.
take a look at his team. Oh, there's James Harden right there, also on Primo's team.
Hmm.
I mean, let's start that right now. I mean, if you're Primo, just based on those three players, yeah, just based on those three players, who do you keep? James Harden, LeBron James, or Victor Wembanyama?
I'm taking Victor and LeBron.
Okay,
James Harden. You can replace James Harden. I mean, I know he's like one of the, he's top 20 in the league, but he's replaceable,
that's
100%.
Beyonce would agree. Speaking of which, rounding out the top 10, Trey Young and Jason Tatum. Oh, I was supposed to come in here after proclaiming myself the champion. I was gonna say, what are they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now? We did it!
Oh man. Yeah,
Uh,
you did. Yeah, you did.
hey man, like, listen, maybe one day you'll be doing the same spiel on your end.
We'll
I mean,
see.
you're one of the more knowledgeable guys about basketball, and I would hope that it translates. But we'll take a look at your team. But man, I saw your
Yeah,
team. Like, yeah, you have your guards all set. It's everything else that is not boding well
injuries
for
did
you, and the
injuries
injuries
didn't
too.
help. The
Yeah,
injuries really didn't help because I picked Jared McCain off. He was going to be rookie of the year. I don't care what anybody says. I think he would have came up but then he goes down. Devin Booker, Devin Booker, the whole thing with him, KD, boom, there we go. I just, sometimes it just doesn't. And a lot of the matches were, I got my butt kicked a few matches, but a lot of them were close. That,
yeah.
me not having certain players, it just, it happens. What can you do?
I was trying to count to see how many players are on this list, but I lost track while I was listening to you.
Oh,
But I guess, well, it's not your fault. It's just this is why aren't there numbers on this side?
I
I
don't
guess I
know.
could have
It's
print out
weird.
the spreadsheet, but I don't want to do that. I know how much you guys love my spreadsheets, though. I guess let's put it this way: the guys that you see on the list, starting with Jamal Murray
Hmm.
and all the way up to Alperen Sengun, are there any surprises? These are guys who are scoring, yeah, about 42 and a half points per
Hmm.
game.
Yes.
Anybody surprising on this list?
Mm, honestly, no.
Yeah,
They're
right.
all they're all guys that can produce. They can either produce where they're projected to be, or they can, almost damn near double it. What Jalen Johnson, he got hurt, but that
Yeah.
kid is,
Well, glad.
same thing with DeJounte Murray. He's a triple double threat. He fills up the stat sheet, and you can't go wrong with him. You really can't go wrong with any of these players. So it's no surprising.
I'm surprised because the Pelicans have a lot of guys who need the ball in their hands, but when he was playing, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, was still productive, as productive as ever,
Mm-hmm.
kind of in line with what he was doing with Trey Young when he was sharing the
Mm-hmm.
backcourt over there. So I'm kind of surprised to see him because I thought, oh, well, there's a lot more talent with the New Orleans Pelicans and
Mm-hmm.
guys who need the ball in their hands. And he did flourish for a little bit, and then until he unfortunately um, was out for the season with the Achilles, and
Mm-hmm.
that was very unfortunate to see. But yeah, you mentioned this guy's hurt, that guy's hurt. You see these red crosses, man? They're adding up.
Crazy.
A lot of these
Crazy.
guys are hurt. He got a
It's bad.
hamstring. That's your guy, Donovan Mitchell, with an
Mm-hmm.
ankle.
Yep.
That sucks. Let's move on. Let's see. What's this list? Let's call this the 37.2 to 39 fantasy points per game.
Okay.
Any surprises there? Any shockers?
Uh,
I got one.
shit. Austin Reeves.
Ah, yes, you read my mind.
I'm looking at one. I'm looking at everybody. Oh, Austin Reeves. But he's really, he's another one that carves out a spot, a niche for him. Like off the bench, he can drop 20 on you. He's gonna become. I can see him winning the six man award. To be
Yeah.
honest.
I didn't realize he was coming off the bench because he posts he's as productive as any starter
Hmm.
starter swingman out there that you could hope for. And I always say progress isn't linear unless you're Austin Reeves. I mean, look at that the fantasy points in the right column there, Jacob. He
Hmm.
started with the his rookie year started at 15 and a half points, and
Hmm.
then the following year he went up to 23 points, 31 points last year, and then this season up to 37 points, where he's a borderline keeper player on
Hmm.
certain formats. So yeah, it's a thing of beauty to see Austin Reeves really flourish. And even same thing I gotta ask, what's he done with Luka Doncic? And no, it's more of the same.
Same.
I
Yep.
mean, and just the explosivity is what I look for too. So this is someone I'm gonna be targeting. If no one's gonna keep, I'm gonna be targeting this guy because even with all the balls and all the mouths that needs to be fed with the Lakers now with Doncic, LeBron, he still gets his.
Yep.
Oh my God, Jacob against the Nuggets. You see that?
Spot 72.
77.
77. Oh, excuse me, Luca.
I think that's what it is. I was like trying to match Luka Doncic's number. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to love about Austin Reeves' game, and then we'll do one last one.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see.
let's see, DeMar
All right.
DeRozan. These are guys who are scoring
Oh,
between
top 10.
34.4 points
Okay.
and 37 points per game, and again, these are fantasy scores. And I ask you once again, who's the big shocker that you see here?
The big shocker. Let's see. Column. No, the Rosen. No, it's not a shock. Siakam,
Yeah, we know who he is.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Dyson Daniels, the kid. I've always liked that kid since his rookie year. So I would say either Trey Murphy,
Yeah, that's a
because
good one.
that means he got a lot of time from Zion wasn't playing, a lot. That
Yeah.
means he showed what he can do. And I'm gonna go with Mark Williams. No
Yeah,
Duke bias.
I'm sorry, what was that? Go
I
ahead,
said
repeat.
no Duke bias here. So I'm gonna put Mark Williams up there too.
I was gonna say Mark Williams too, but then you mentioned Trey Murphy. I think Trey Murphy might be the better option. Unfortunately, he's out for the season with a shoulder injury. I mean,
Yep.
it just sucks to see. Ugh. But
Do the
we,
shoot.
yeah, and we were wondering, wait, why is he getting a contract extension? And now we know why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 40% three-point shooter
Yep.
in 2022, and he's been hovering around above 35% ever
Mm-hmm.
since, and a career 38.3 three-point shooter, 87.5% free throw shooter for this career. So the guy, like you said, the guy can shoot, and
Mm-hmm.
now I see why the Pelicans are very excited to have him. But yeah, out with the season with the shoulder, and then Mark Williams, which is the dude's always hurt, but I've always liked him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's
Same.
yeah, it's just what do you call it? A health issue with him.
Yep.
But he's a very productive center when he's healthy. Because I
Mm-hmm.
had him, I believe I had him last year. 29.5 is a lot for a center. And then he explodes this year with 34.47. And the best thing about him, Jacob, he's barely playing half a game, and he's just so damn productive.
Mm-hmm. That's what he was at Duke. I mean,
Yeah,
he can get you a quick double double, and there's a reason why the Lakers wanted him. There was a reason why they wanted to give up Dalton Connect for him.
yeah.
He would have solidified. That's the thing. It's all about health. He would have solidified the middle. Uh, I think they would have been even a better team, an even better team. Excuse me, with Mark Williams.
I'm only clicking on Brandon Miller's name because first of all,
Man,
I loved him last year, and I was hoping to get him this year.
he's
It
so
just didn't
good.
work out. But no, well, the thing that sucks about him is he's a terrible mid-range shooter. I mean, I saw the numbers, and
Mhm.
this is the poster child. Like, why aren't they shooting more? Why they got to shoot so many three-pointers? Why can't they play the mid-range? Well, Brandon Miller is shooting about 18% with inside the three-point line or something stupid like that, and
It's something wild.
it is ridiculous. And now you know why the Hornets don't want him shooting mid-range jumpers because he's not good at it. But he's
Hmm.
35.5% from three-point line. Unfortunately, he's out for the season with a wrist injury, and I mean, a lot of these guys are hurt, which at the moment makes me wonder if it's even worth looking at the year to date. Maybe I should
Hmm.
be doing them, in the last 30 days. Is that okay? Last 28 days. Let's see how this
Mhm.
list looks. I don't want to start too over, but yeah. Oh, the same difference. You got guys who are hurt, like Darren Fox is out for the season. Cam Thomas is out for the season, and Denny Avdija. Oh, he has a thumb injury.
Mhm.
But yeah, this looks a lot different. Uh, uh, well, not too different, but different
No.
enough, right? Josh Giddey. I mean, I know about Josh Giddey, not because he's a Bulls player, but because Bob. Every time I saw
Mhm.
a Bulls game, I'm like, oh no, not the Giddey monster.
Nah, that was the best. That was one of the best moves y'all made was
Y-
getting him. I said it. I forgot who I said it to. I was like, oh, he needs a fresh start
Yeah,
because he's not.
yeah.
He doesn't have a. He didn't have a place in OKC anymore. But the Bulls is the perfect place. I've seen him a few times against the Knicks. Dude is a triple double threat every time he gets on the floor, and that's somebody. Him and Kobe White could be a formidable backcourt for you guys for a
Well,
long time.
I almost had nightmare scenarios like, oh no, not the Pacers fan who has the two Bulls players, my favorite NBA team, and it was every night. It was Kobe and Giddy, Kobe and Giddy. Like
Hmm.
I was having nightmare scenarios of Shohei Ohtani all over again from my baseball season from last year. Like I still get I get terrors out of that. Like and the same, yeah, it's bad enough I got Jokic, but now it's the reemergence of Josh Giddey, and you're
Hmm.
bringing along Kobe Mayo. But you're
Hmm.
right about Giddey. He aside from the allegations that were happening, he simply just his potential was tapped out just because of SGA and all that talent that the Thunder had.
Hmm.
And yeah, he showed promise with the Thunder, but last year he took a step back from, I think a lot of it had to do with the allegations and the distractions that come with
Oh
it,
yeah.
but it's just also the emergence of SGA. He comes to
Hmm.
the Bulls, and yeah, it's like he's doing the stuff. He's producing as well as Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan were when they were on the
Hmm.
team, except that he's younger, 22 years old, fresher, more unselfish style of play. His three
Hmm.
point shot has improved from the days of OKC. Remember that was
Big
his
time.
detriment. Remember?
Yep. Yes, it was.
Yeah, and much improved free throw shooter as well. So,
Hmm.
although last year he was at 80%, but those first 2 years in the NBA could have been, I mean, over 70%, but could have been a lot better. Are we still doing that? If it's over 75%, you're good at free throw shooting. Are we still doing that or no?
Shit, I want 80.
You want 80? Okay,
I
well,
want
that's what
80.
you
When
you're
crunch
getting.
time, you're getting fouled, man. I want that 80% at least.
Yeah. There's Denny Avdija, a big breakout year for him, and he's been killing it over the last month, even with the Blazers. So now I see where Scoot Henderson's production went. There's our guy, Carl Anthony Towns,
Mhm.
Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic. No problem. I'm still producing.
Look
Quentin
at Quentin
Grimes taking
Grimes.
advantage of
Look
the
at him.
playtime. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Look at Quentin Grimes go.
Yeah. Former Knick player, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Anybody's. There's Sengun at 42 points per game. Just looking. Oh, yeah. Ivica Zubats is like.
Man.
Yeah, the more we doubt him, the more he uh just shuts us up with the doubt. And yeah, oh my goodness, the huge improvement for this guy. And before he was only trusted to play half a game.
Hmm.
This year, like yeah, go out there, big man. I'm trying to see what the big difference was because they just his minutes just per game exploded this year,
Hmm.
and he's not shooting any 3 pointers, but yeah, he's getting grabbing a lot more rebounds, scoring a lot more points. The blocks are always there. So yeah, it's a thing of beauty to see the improvements here. So there you go with that. My guy Evan Mobley at 40 points. Amen Thompson, we talked about him.
Hmm.
There's your guy Emmanuel Quickly. All these former Knick
Yep.
players doing well for
It's
their new
crazy.
teams. Imagine that. Bobby Portis. I missed out on him. I was gonna make a note to pick him up, but I guess I forgot to do it.
No need.
Bobby Portis, solid, just solid contributor fantasy wise, man. I love Bobby Portis. There's a guy Okongwu at 37.4 points a game. Clearly, that's exceeding the projections from earlier this season.
Hmm.
And if you see a name, just shout it out, bro. They're Shaden Sharp,
Wiggins, Short, Castle. I mean, Wimby
Stephon
goes
Castle.
down. Castle just picked it up. So it's
Yeah,
well, look. I mean, just
uh,
man.
is he the rookie of the year?
Ah, I, mm, I would say it's between him. I'm a big Sar guy, but I would say either him or Ricochet. I mean, you got to
Okay.
go it's either those two. I think it's Castle, Ricochet, and Sar.
Okay.
But McCain
Remember,
would have had something to say about that one. The way he was playing,
mhm.
it would have been hard to do. But yeah, I think I'll go with Castle.
Remember Russell? People thought Russell Westbrook was done.
I love to hear that. I just love that he still is producing. I mean, you know how we all, me and Leon, we always argue for like, listen, you got to give Russ some respect. Let's not act like
Yeah.
he wasn't one of the best players in the league at one time, and he found a home in Denver,
Yeah.
and he's making it work.
Yeah, he's
Gotta
making
love
it
it.
work, carving a niche. He loves playing with Jokic.
Who won it?
So, I mean, yeah, exactly. And it says about, and he's a lot happier too. That's the most important
Yeah.
thing, and which is unfortunate. You couldn't say the same when he was LeBron, but
Hmm.
it makes you wonder, what is LeBron doing where he's like turning off other talent? Although Luca looks happy too with playing with
Oh yeah.
LeBron, so who knows?
Hmm.
But yeah, you could notice that smile is back on Westbrook's face playing with Jokic, and I mean, obviously Jokic is a willing passer and gifted player all around. Was it two-time MVP or is it three-time MVP? I've lost count already.
Three, I want to say.
Well, probably gonna win one this year, unless
I, I want to say SGA. I'm hoping
me
because
too.
he deserves it.
I agree. You know, I should put that down as well. Like if you have the MVP player on your team, you should get some bonus money for that. But yeah, I'm tweaking around with the payouts this year, so we'll see. There's
Yo,
my
he's
guy
tweaking.
Brendan. I'm sorry, what?
I say he's tweaking. He might swerve in that corner. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, it's 2025 and Jello.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, and he wasn't even the first rapper out of that family. It was Lonzo who was the guy with the first rap song, I believe, right?
Good Lord.
Yeah, and then Jello can make it in the NBA, so he'll make it as a rapper too, and
Only in America.
only in America. You can't do it in Canada because then you'll be stuck with Drake's sweatshop. So,
Bona. That you talk about picking up some slack.
who
I
are you
mean,
looking
he
at?
might Bona from the 76ers.
Oh, right in front of me. Duh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Picking up the slack from trusting I guess they trusted the process with him. He's gonna be an interesting pick for next year if he
Jesus.
I'm,
Oh, oh
I'm
my
telling you.
God.
Yeah,
How
I
did I
didn't
s-
know
how did I sleep on this guy?
because he just came out of once Joel went down, it was just they had him.
Oh my God.
Just
So it looks like he's come on strong in the last 3 weeks or so.
mhm.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, it's all about minutes, man.
Yeah, all about opportunity, right? I mean, you're exactly 100% correct on that one.
Mhm,
There's Colin Sexton, which is a thorn on my side because he would eat up some of Keontae George's production, but it's all right.
mhm,
So yeah, interesting list of guys. There's Fred. Oh well, I can see why Bob wanted to go with Fred VanVleet. I mean, he was actually
mhm,
having a good 28-day running a run there to finish
mhm.
out the season. So maybe, but yeah, either way, I still think it was a bad choice, and I don't know why this guy's on my watch list. Oh, because I thought this Gershon
Oh, Masali?
Yabusele, I
Yeah.
thought he was gonna be the one to look at to replace Embiid, and it
Mhm.
looks like oh well, yeah,
No, he gets yeah,
he's
he
doing pretty
gets
well.
playing time. Oh yeah.
Not enough.
No, not
Say you
enough.
say you're bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Oh my God. Some people think I'm obsessed with that rap beat from 2024. I disagree. I'm completely overly obsessed with that. All right, let's have some fun here, man. Let's play a little bit of GM and we'll just focus on that.
Let's do it.
We'll start with your team. Well, I'm already on Strikeforce's team. He's the number one pick overall. He beat your team 361 to 308. EJ's team kind of came on strong as the season wore on,
Hmm.
but it was by that time it was too little, too late.
Yep.
And shout out to all the guys on in this league too, because when Pinos and I were doing the show, like at the halfway point, it was the four playoff teams with
Hmm.
winning records, and then a bunch of teams with losing records.
Hmm.
But you guys had there was like Angel and Harry's team, and maybe
Hmm.
EJ's team that had losing records, but there was some promise that they would turn things around,
Hmm.
and they made it interesting at the very end. But unfortunately for them, the same four teams that were in the lead for those four
Hmm.
playoff spots at the middle of the season
Yeah.
were the same ones that made the playoffs for the end of the season.
Yeah.
But like I said, those other guys they put up a fight to at least have
Hmm.
a winning record. So good for them. But EJ, let's see here.
I know.
Those are his starters, and his team is called Team Strike Force. I just by looking at it,
He's
and
keeping.
you know, who is he keeping? And well, I mean, there's Embiid there, but
Well, he can. I would honestly, if I'm taking Sengun,
really,
I'm going. It might be you know, just swing in the dark, but I would keep Sengun because Joel Embiid, he's just. How long
soft.
will you trust the process? How long are you going to trust the
No,
process on
I'm
this team?
done, man. I mean, and listen, he's a wonderful player. We saw him. He played only a handful of games, but he still
Hmm.
finished in terms of fantasy points per game. He finished among the top five, and
Hmm.
that's good enough to justify him being a top five pick in all draft formats next season, because he's a center and he's very productive. But if you're not playing, what is the point? You know,
Hmm.
it really is killing him. And yeah, so EJ on the bench, he has Embiid and Dejounte Murray. Dejounte Murray's coming back from an Achilles heel. That's a red flag,
It's
right?
tough.
We don't.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And Embiid, I think he looks like a guy who's done playing for the 76ers, and he might get traded next season.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows if the heart's there anymore? Which is ironic because that's the reason he got drafted so high,
Hmm.
and why people stopped paying attention to was it Andrew Wiggins from
Yep.
Kansas? They stopped paying
Hmm.
attention to Andrew Wiggins and started focusing on Joel Embiid. All these
Hmm.
NBA scouts were there to see Wiggins and like, hey, who's this 7 footer? And
Yep.
that's how Joel Embiid's career started in the NBA. But it looks like that era might be gone. And yeah, I think if you want to go young,
I like
Sengun and what maybe either Jalen
Daniels.
Green or
I
Jalen
like
Williams,
Daniels. I like Daniels, but
Dyson Daniels. Okay.
I like Dyson Daniels. But JW is gonna go. He can play center too. It's either those are my top. If you're gonna pick, it's definitely Sengun. He's a Rockets guy, so I can see him going to Sengun.
He's a Mavericks guy.
Oh, I thought he was. Who the hell? Was he like the?
Because he
Who the
drafts all the
fuck?
Rockets players. That's the problem. He
Yeah,
has
I thought. Yeah, he is a Mavericks fan. My bad. Sorry, EJ. My bad. I should. I knew that. But yeah, I will go Sengun and I'll say J Dub. But I
oh
like Dyson Daniels because he can
yeah.
actually steals. He can shoot now. He's
Yeah.
a he's a better shooter. He does everything on the floor. But I would say Sengun and I'll say J Dub.
All right. I think I might have to agree with you. Get those two young centers. I think Sengun's like
Mm-hmm.
24 years old. I'm just guessing
Maybe younger than me.
here. 22.
Yep.
So off by 2 years. And then I'm going to guess Jalen Williams is 22 as
20, yeah, about the
well.
same age.
Damn, I wanted to guess 23, but maybe I thought, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
young guys, just, they could do worse. And then you just with the first pick, you just draft a bunch of perimeter players,
Mm-hmm.
point guards, primary ball handlers, primary scorers, swingmen, and stuff of that, and you build around your two big men, and you don't have to worry about drafting any more centers, unless you end up like me and Bob and draft as many centers as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly think that's going to be the thing next year. A lot of guys are going to end up with three or four, maybe up to five centers because they saw how I did it and how Bob did it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to your team now.
But you
Tips
gotta,
takers. Tips
yeah, you
takers.
gotta, might change the name too.
Who, your team?
Yeah, I might have to bring myself some luck.
All right. Call it Undertakers.
We'll see.
Underwear takers.
We'll
Rest
see.
in pieces, which is something you don't want your underwear to be. All right, let's look at the bottom of your list here. Oh yeah, we talked about it. Hey, who are you waiting on? You're waiting on guys, right? You're waiting on guys to take that next step. And
Hmm.
I remember that some of these guys were players that we named, but
Hmm.
as we are seeing now, it looks like the guys that you were counting on to step up never did step up.
Nah, they never did.
That sucks.
Kamara did. Kamara was, he was a decent piece for Portland. Uh, Kolek, he really didn't get the time, even with Jalen Brunson out. So that was a whatever. McCain got hurt. DiVincenzo really, he was okay, but he wasn't close to what he, did for the Knicks, I feel.
Hmm.
Miles McBride, he was, a mixed bag because with Tibbs, the thing with Tibbs is he's gonna play his starters, as you know.
I know.
And McBride did earn his trust though, but he had a lot of inconsistent play. Jalen Wells, I thought he was really gonna take that step, and he did, for being a rookie. But it sucks that he went down. But with Ja there being pretty ball dominant and everything else that happened, I mean, he didn't. But like I said, now I know what to go with for next year and what
I
not
always
to do.
think Jalen Wells, I always refer to him as Bonzi.
Bonzi, right?
Let's look. Like I was impressed. Like you look at, and this is what I'm talking
I,
about. Like I look at your three guards up here: Donovan Mitchell, Jalen
I,
Brown, Devin Booker, and then you still got the Bridges brothers. They're not really brothers; they just have the same last
mhm,
name, and they have the same first letter in their first name. M as Eminem show Eminem
mhm.
Bridges. Detroit. What? It's a good five, five quintuple, I guess,
Mhm,
group of players there, and you just and that's the star. Excuse me, that's the star power that lacks on my team. Like you have the
mhm.
star power, I don't, but we got different results.
Yep.
But I mean, a lot of it's not your fault. I mean, Mitchell is hurt once again. Jalen Brown,
He's been hurt. He's for the last few years. He definitely missed some time. I
yeah,
just feel like every time I look at it, I'm like, well, here we go again.
and then you did very well for yourself with your two centers. Yeah, you
I,
lacked a little bit of depth, but your
yeah,
Isaiah Hardenstein and Miles Turner, I don't. Like to me, Hardenstein doesn't get me excited as a starting center. As a
mm-mm.
backup, absolutely. As a
Oh yeah,
starter,
for sure.
no. And Miles Turner, like I'm done with that show. But they did
Ah,
pretty well.
they
30 plus
did.
points a game. I wouldn't have done it, but
I picked right, darn it.
you
I mean,
pick.
30 points a game from those two, like it's
It's a
just
miracle. Yeah. Hell, the
it's
fact that Miles Turner is playing 30 minutes a game is a miracle in itself.
mm-hmm.
And then
Like I said, Edie,
I know you were
he
expecting big
I
things for
really
him.
was. I really was. I thought he was gonna be, that double guy that puts up the 15, maybe 20 and 10. Because he's a big body. Like he seems like a traditional, but this kind of shows you that the traditional center isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
mean, but
he's starting to show up at the end, though. I mean,
of
it
course,
doesn't
of course.
too little, too late for you, but
Yeah, it's
but
been too
then
late.
yeah, right here, March 31st, 8.5 points.
Yeah, like no,
That's not gonna cut it. No.
you can't do that.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs.
Hmm.
Rookie season, of course.
Oh yeah.
That's what you expect. So you're not
Mhm.
keep. There's no way you're keeping a center because you have Mitchell, Brown, Booker, and then you got the Bridges
No,
boys. But
no, absolutely.
who are you leaning towards as of right now? Things could change from here until shoot September, I
Well,
guess.
yeah, right now I'm going with my guards at Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell because those are cornerstone guys,
Yeah,
and then Jalen Brown can kick rocks, whatever he does after that, whatever. But
you'll
yeah,
you got
Mitchell and
you got the second pick overall. I'm pretty sure Jalen Brown's going back to your team, right?
I don't know. We'll see who's open.
Okay.
We'll see who's open.
Uh,
It's the first time I got. I think this is the first time I've been top freaking two, top three actually pick.
yeah, because you're always
Never
like in the middle of
experience.
the pack,
I'm
right?
always.
Yeah. So let's move on. With the third pick overall, it's Mike Harvey, Mike in Spectacles,
Mhm.
George Mike in Spectacles.
Great
Needs to
name. I like that name.
load up a little bit. And this is the team, the Pacers fan from Washington, and his
Mhm.
big detriment is that he has way too many homer picks. And I
Yeah.
yelled, I chastised him in our baseball league as well. Like he has every Cardinals outfielder for some reason. He already cut like two of them, I think. But
Nuke
let's
Bar is the
see.
only one worth keeping.
Is anybody on the bench worth keeping? Maybe Brandon Miller, but is he Brandon Miller keeper material, or do you see anybody
No,
else on that
you can,
list?
no, you can pick him up. I mean, you can pick him up in the later rounds.
Yeah,
Maybe if he didn't get hurt, because his volume, like when he had the ball a lot in his like during the season, even with LaMelo on the floor, he had the ball a lot.
yeah.
So, yeah, you can pick him up. He'll be a good pick, but yeah, I think he can. You can wait a
Yeah, I
little.
think he's a guy you can draft in the draft.
Yeah.
After the keepers are set. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
no Pacers players. You can't keep a Pacers player
No,
unless it's what's his face, but he doesn't have him.
no,
Halliburton. So Doncic is one for sure,
easy,
right?
easy. And I would say it's a toss up between Chet and Ahmed, but I really like. I like what I saw from that kid last year.
Yeah,
Well, this year, excuse me, this year.
yeah.
Good grief, that kid can ball. I
He's
would.
resting now, but go ahead.
Well, yeah. But Chet, like I said, Chet scares me too. He's another one that I really think that's gonna have the injury bug hit him.
Yeah,
And you can see it. So
yeah.
I would really go Luca and Amen. I know
Pl
it's guard heavy, but
The other problem is that there's
mhm,
just too much talent with the
inconsistent.
Thunder. Well,
Yeah.
that too, but yeah, he's inconsistent, but too much talent with the Thunder. They
Mhm.
got depth all over the place, and I think
Yep.
Holmgren is Chet Holmgren has as much as he could put up those monster numbers, just like I
Hmm.
predicted. I also got scared away because the Thunder have a lot of mouths to feed, and
Yep.
he's kind of lost in the shuffle.
Hmm.
You wouldn't consider Scotty Barnes as a second keeper?
I do like. He's another one. I like Scotty, but him and Amen are pretty much the same player when you really think about it.
Yeah, except that I believe that Scotty Barnes for
Mhm.
the Raptors has more freedom
True.
to
True.
be
True.
the primary ball handler, and Amen
Mm-hmm.
Thompson has to share the ball more.
Hmm.
But it I can see it working from a fantasy perspective, from like
Yeah.
a cornerstone foundation perspective,
Hmm.
if they really cut back on Fred Van Fleet's.
Yeah.
I say it like that because it's a Dutch thing, right? Fred Van Fleet. If they cut back on his minutes and his usage,
Hmm.
and just let Amen Thompson run the show, I don't think they're gonna do that though.
No, I don't think so.
And we're already seeing Scotty Barnes doing that with the Raptors,
Hmm.
and so that's my thought process there. So I could see him doing, which is kind of weird to see because Luka and Doncic and Scotty Barnes were on my team like a few years ago.
Hmm.
Not to see him on Mike's team and do nothing with this talent. I don't know. It's a I don't know what it brings, but it brings something. Speaking of Toronto, let's go to our
Ah.
favorite Raptors fan, the only Raptors fan we know, Erin
Hmm.
from Toronto. She was walking through her six with her woes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Rough.
see. Oh, okay, perfect. This is the bench.
Okay. Nope.
The big number that shows up is John Collins, but boy,
Yeah.
like I said, you talk about the Jazz is tanking, man. That's the thing that scared me from drafting John Collins was, and
Hmm.
remember, John Collins was just sitting around and sitting around and sitting around
Hmm.
in our draft, and he barely got picked up at a reasonable draft selection. But when he was playing, if this thing could load up for me, yeah, he
Hmm.
was 49,
Yep.
and then he would go a month without playing. But he was scoring over 30 points and the occasional 40 plus, you
Hmm.
know, teasing 50 points every once in a while. So safe floor, very limited upside, but the thing is that yeah, 34 points, whatever odd points per game is impressive. We only 40 games though, and then the Jazz are seemingly are perpetually tanking, and Danny Ainge is just perpetually just stockpiling on draft pick for some odd reason. I don't know. I think John Collins is just being wasted wherever he goes. He was wasted in
Hmm.
Atlanta. He was, or am I seeing wrong? Is John maybe John Collins is the problem? What do you make of John Collins?
I honestly, towards the end at Atlanta, I believe he just, he wanted the extension. It wasn't going to happen, and he got disinterested in the team, so they moved him. But
Makes
the
sense.
Jazz could be a spot for him to actually be productive. As you can see, 30 something points. Hey,
Yeah,
you're gonna
career year for
take
him.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it. I mean, he had the
Oh,
opportunity. I mean, they don't really.
oops.
They have more guards than anything. Oh, well, they
Yeah,
got Laurie. They got Laurie marketing.
yeah.
So
That's another guy. Yeah.
yeah, what are you gonna do with him? But he still managed to get time, and I think Utah is a decent place for him.
Yeah, sorry, when I say career year for him, I meant in terms of fantasy points. But I just realized
Yeah.
that since 2019, that's his best output from a fantasy perspective, from a fantasy
Hmm.
points perspective in this league since 2019. Because yeah, he kind of flatlined with the Hawks and a little
Yep.
bit with the Jazz, although he started doing better with the Jazz, and this year he really took it to another level.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, it's hard to play for a team who doesn't even want you playing the
Yeah.
way you want to. Speaking of Stephon Castle,
Hmm.
Aaron had him, but now we gotta look. We gotta see, like,
Ooh.
yo, who are
I,
you going to keep for next year?
RJ, that's number one. I gotta go with RJ.
RJ, okay.
He has been putting up amazing numbers for coming back home to Toronto, doing his thing. So RJ definitely.
And
And even though he's having the issues, he's finally, he's getting hurt a little bit. You never really Dame was like the model of consistency of playing, but injury bug caught up with him a little bit. But I think Damian Lillard, it's still Dame time. You got to keep him.
yeah, I think you're kind of stuck with Damian Lillard, but he is 34 years old, and oh my God, look at all these games he's been
Yeah,
missing.
yeah.
Son of, he hasn't played since March 18th.
Hmm.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate. But
He has
that's
a
the
blood clot or something like that.
yeah, it says it's a calf muscle. I didn't read too much into it, but yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Blood clots and NBA players is always
Hmm.
dangerous. We don't want to see that, but yeah, that's the perils of going with these veterans. That's why I always go young with
Hmm.
in these drafts. And you saw my team, bunch of young guys, and then you look at Aaron's team, it's a lot of veteran players, and they're all letting her down. I mean,
Hmm.
McCollum
Well,
got hurt. Oh
hmm
my God! Wait, when's the
Well,
last time
Siakam.
she? Go ahead.
Siakam. You might be able to go with Siakam. You can
Yeah,
go with
former.
RJ Siakam.
Yeah, looks like Aaron hasn't updated her lineup in a while either. So she waved that red flag a long time ago and went full baseball mode, I guess. But yeah, Siakam is a good choice as well if you want to go a little bit younger.
Hmm.
Although, I didn't realize he was 31 years old. I felt like
Yeah.
I thought he was like maybe 27, 28.
Uh,
But let's see. Is playing with Tyrese Halliburton a detriment? It kind of is a little
a
bit.
little bit, but he's still putting up numbers. So
Yeah,
he's
that's
getting
true.
his numbers.
That's true. So yeah, so Siakam is also, but yeah, I think a good foundation. You got to go with Damian Lillard whether you want to or not.
Hmm.
It has to be
Hmm.
Lillard, and then like you said, Barrett or Siakam. You can't go back with DeRozan. You can't go with
No,
two old
no.
guys. No way.
Mm-mm.
Definitely not Rudy. Yeah. Or maybe you take a leap of faith and just go RJ Barrett and Siakam. But I gotta say, you're pretty darn limited
Yeah.
with those two on your team. I don't see Barrett being a guy that can score 50 points a game or
He
even
can get
40 plus. Go
he
ahead.
can get close. I think he came into his own in Toronto, and him and Scotty, they built a little record there
Yeah.
that can work. He can still shoot it. Rebound is important. He can do a lot on the floor.
Yeah.
He missed some time too. Also, like I don't know what the hell happened to him, but
I guess he could be like their version of Devin Booker, but you just mentioned as long as Scotty Booker is the main primary ball handler, I just think that RJ Barrett is pretty limited
hmm
with what he can
no, he
do. But
definitely is.
yeah. Let's go to James Pino's team, Los Banqueros. James will get the fifth pick overall next season.
I know he's.
Fellow Knicks
I,
fan of
I
yours.
know exactly who's here.
He's going to pick Tom Thibodeau for next season? No.
Damn right,
Um, let's take a look at his bench really quick.
Mike Malone.
There's Trey Murphy. We just talked about him.
Great, great day.
Clay Thompson also in there.
Hmm. I
Walker
like
Kessler.
I like Walker Kessler.
Yeah, he's improving. But are
Hmm.
any of these guys keepers though?
Trey, if there's a starting lineup, Trey Murphy. But but if I'm gonna, if I had to say, hey, you got to keep one Trey Murphy, of course.
Okay.
The upside is there.
Yeah, I agree with that. But obviously you can't keep him over guys like Stephen Curry
Oh, hell no.
or
Paulo is
yeah,
Paulo. You got to
Paulo.
keep.
Yeah,
You got to keep. Just
maybe
fantasy
Sabonis.
standpoint, Sabonis. Um, yeah, Sabonis is another. I mean, that's tough. I
And then
I like Banchero and I like Sabonis. I'm a big
yeah.
Sabonis.
Yeah, I think you're at a point where we're seeing the impact of big men and just how many viable guards are out there in this
Hmm.
league format
Yep.
where you kind of have to constantly, even giving up on a guy like Curry. But if Curry goes, I mean, either you or EJ are gonna get him. You would
Oh, 100%.
think,
100%.
you would think, but at the
You gotta
same
make that
time,
decision.
yeah. But well, actually, you already have too many guards as it is, so you're gonna
Yeah,
need a big
yeah,
man.
I'm not going. Yeah, I gotta go forward or big, so I'm not worried
Yeah,
about it. But if
unless
I
you
had
just
to,
go,
Sabonis definitely
yeah.
triple
Yeah,
double threat.
yeah, I think I agree with you. Sabonis and Banchero are the ways to go.
Hmm.
But yeah, if I'm you though, do I just say screw it and just go best player available with that second pick and get Curry?
I can't say. It's just if
Interesting.
he's there, then I mean it's gonna be hard to play. Nah, I'm not. But skip. Curry does kind of scare me. I mean, greatest shooter ever, but the
Yeah.
age could be catching up to him. I want that consistency that you're gonna play 70 plus games as well. How many games did Curry play this year?
He's at 67 so far, it
Okay,
says
so
right here. He's getting
so
there. But yeah,
yeah,
he did miss more time than usual.
yeah,
And you
28.
got some young guys on the Warriors also lurking, like you just mentioned, Brandon Pachemski and
Mhm.
Kaminga, although Kaminga's more of a big man, but yeah, I mean,
You
they're
got
gonna,
Moody that finally showing that he can. Well, he's always a decent shooter in school. He's a good
yeah.
shooter, but he's finding his stride in the NBA now. So hey, you might see him on the fantasy radar next year too.
Up next is Buzzing Mecca, your fellow Nick fan Carey, also
Ah,
fellow podcaster, and then they did the whole teaming up to run a fantasy league with his friend
mhm,
Joe over there. They're
mhm,
from, I believe Joe is also a Knicks fan. I could be wrong. Maybe he's a
mhm,
Celtics fan. I don't remember. This is the guy, the team that it seemed like they were buying low on a bunch of veteran players,
mhm.
which appear to be the smart thing to do.
It
But boy,
was.
did they get hurt in a hurry. Leonard was
Yeah.
hurt. Tatum
Yes.
got hurt. Jimmy Butler got hurt. LaMelo
Mhm.
Ball, Chris Middleton, Zach LaVine. I feels like he's always hurt, but maybe not.
Nah, he was good this year.
Wendell Carter was hurt at the beginning of the season,
Mhm.
and then oh my God, they got Jalen Brunson. Why is he on the bench? Were they tanking? I hope they weren't tanking.
I don't know. That
Yeah.
pissed me off.
That doesn't look good. That's not a good look. I mean, you played to win the game, but they get the sixth pick. They could have gotten the fifth pick if they really wanted it, but
Mhm.
they didn't. Well, no, they couldn't have taken it because they went 12-12, so they were
Yeah, they did something.
they were pushing for the play unless they didn't want to make the playoffs anymore. But there was no chance they were gonna. Well, you never say never in this league. Anyway, let's.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But to keep somebody on the bench, you know who I'm going with already.
it has to be Brunson, right?
Of course, 100%. But
Is is that
going
good?
up, Tatum is number one.
Yeah,
I would go Tatum and Brunson, or Tatum and Ball.
not Butler or LaMelo Ball.
No, hell
Ball
no.
was hurt all season
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that's it. See, but I would go him and Brunson. I would go Tatum and Brunson. That's an easy shit.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a health issue, right? I mean,
Yep.
your best ability is availability, and
You go.
although Brunson missed some games too.
Oh yeah, he did with his ankle. He missed a bunch
Okay,
actually.
but he's usually good, and then Tibbs is going to play him to the ground, 35 and a half minutes per game.
Right.
This is the difference between Harry and Tom Thibodeau is that he actually benches Jalen Brunson. But Jason Tatum plays a lot of minutes too, so
Oh yeah, he
we
does.
can't even go after
Absolutely.
Tibbs. And
I
Zach
mean,
LaVine also
you're a
plays a lot
star
of
player.
minutes.
You're a star player. You're gonna play.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Crunch
Wait,
time.
are you telling me that players want to play?
As you should.
Players want to play. Ballers want to ball. I don't even want none of the above. I want to. It's a kid show. It's a friendly show. Leon is up next. He will get the seventh pick overall. Mount Zion Buffet. It's a hell of a name he got himself in
Hmm.
there.
I
Uh,
am Zion, Zion.
remember we were
Ooh,
kind of mocking him a little bit for the Jordan Poole pick. That ended up being a pretty darn good pick for him.
yeah, he was. He
Not bad.
definitely was. Pool party.
Obviously, as long as you have Giannis, you'll always have a chance
Of course.
in this league. And he always has a really good team. It's just the
Hmm.
injuries got to him. I mean, Zion is hurt once again.
Again.
John Morant still, with the guns, with
And the grenades now.
and the grenades now. Yeah,
Kyrie
Kyrie
got hurt.
Irving hurt again.
His
Must have
team
been
is
on.
solid.
I think Kyrie Irving got hurt
He
on a
did.
flat
His Achilles.
surface. I thought, oh, it's the knee, bro. I thought it was a knee.
Was it his
Yeah.
knee? Was it Achilles or his
Yeah, he
ACL?
tore his ACL. I
He
remember
did something.
he had to shoot free throws and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, ACL. Yeah, poor guy. I actually did
Yeah.
feel bad for him. 33 years old with an ACL injury. So
Hmm.
good luck to him.
He'll be back
Yeah, not in time for the draft next season, but he'll be back.
though.
Cam Tom. I mean, this guy's littered with injuries. Poor Leon. Cam Thomas out. Clint Capella lost his job to Okongwu, which
Hmm.
benefited me. Patrick Williams is a bust. Herb Jones, in a season where we were expecting him to do some big things with Zion out, he's out for the year. Corey Kispert, the 3-point specialist, thumb injury. You kind of need a thumb to shoot a 3-pointer.
Krispy
Lon-
Kreme.
Lonzo Ball, he's perpetually hurt, and he's hurt once again with a wrist injury. So you're not keeping Kyrie. You're not keeping anyone on your bench.
No.
So I think the best thing to do is it's Giannis and Ja, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's
done with
easy.
Zion, right? We're done with Zion.
Yeah, you gotta be. I mean, maybe if you had that third, keeping three, then you'd be like, okay, maybe Zion to turn around. But if we absolutely have to go two, sorry about the dog.
It's
She
fine.
doesn't like
I
it.
barely hear him. Go, barely hear
Okay,
her.
good. So John Moran and yeah, John Giannis, yes, easy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Eh, I will say, if we were keeping track of a number of adult film actresses banged, Zion would take the cake easily. Easily.
No pun intended.
He loves cake in more ways than one.
Exactly.
Do you see the meme? Like
Oh,
Zion would jump up like a dolphin, go chasing after the uh, the OnlyFans in the crowd. Let's see here. Angel is next. PR All Stars, Puerto Rico.
oh.
Oh yeah, coño. There's Carlos Arroyo there, and we zoom in. Trey Young, obviously, but let's go down. That's another guy who has
Ooh.
a lot of good guards and just
Hmm.
wasn't able to duplicate that everywhere else. But there's Tyrese Maxey. Well, yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
Out
man.
for the season with a finger. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, no, I'm agreeing with you. That's damn, he got a lot of good guards. Jalen Suggs went down too. He's another one.
Yeah, there's
Man,
Lori. Yeah. And for those who forgot, Angel is a Jazz fan and a Magic fan. So he got bit by the Homer bug. This is why I warned you guys about the Homer picks. And no one's going to hurt you more than your favorite player on your favorite team on your fantasy team. So,
true.
yeah, Laurie Markkinen. But Laurie Markkinen's loss is, well, I guess Kyle Filipowski. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah,
Former Duke player.
yes,
Yeah, that
sir.
it was his gain. I don't think he's going to keep any centers.
Nah, he can drop.
Uh,
Franzi.
Shout out
I
to
mean,
PJ Washington, but I thought he had a pretty good year this year. I think this was a career year for him.
F that guy.
What was wrong with PJ Washington? Yeah, it was a career year for him. Wow, good for
Yeah,
him.
whatever.
What's wrong with PJ
I think I had him
Washington?
last year. I think was it him last year. He shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
I had him 1 year. I think I had him in his rookie year. But yeah,
but
he really exploded this year.
oh yeah, for sure.
Franz Wagner was
That guy.
41 points. That's a surprise.
No, he was good. He was really good. You knew he was gonna break out this year. He's one of those candidates.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. Just to see him be a 41 point scorer. Well,
Hmm.
I guess that the signs were always there.
Oh yeah.
I just never made that association. But I don't know. I guess it's between three guys: Trey Young, Tyrese Halliburton,
Hmm.
and PJ Washington. And Trey Young, that's the one thing I told Angel. Like, that's the thing about Trey Young, man. We don't know what he's gonna be if he can go 50 points. Well, he's
He can
inching
go.
closer and closer
Oh
to his
yeah.
2021 mark. So I guess you got to keep him for sure, right?
Oh, yeah, you have to. And
So
Tyrese
then,
Halliburton's another one. You're just like, do you really let him go? He can piss you off for a
yes,
week, and then he's gonna come back the next week and just freaking kill it. That's how he's always been.
yeah.
I mean, ever since he took that Ray Allen like picture. I don't know what I mean.
Uh,
Thought he got game, but
oh, she, no, but that wasn't the thing. Was that he's shooting threes off the court too? Or is that what it
yep.
was?
Hmm.
Anyway, no disrespect, respectfully.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
but yeah, this is a declining year for him. He was up to 48 points, fantasy points last season, 44 this year. Yeah, people would say, well, it's only a 4 point difference, but as I always say, Jacob, it is a game of inches.
Hmm.
So, final answer, Wagner or Halliburton?
I'm gonna go. See, I'm not gonna go guard heavy. I'm gonna go Wagner.
Wagner, yeah. I like it. I like the boldness. Yeah, get those. Wagner, where does he qualify? Okay, power forward. Yeah,
Hmm.
so there you go. Big men are important.
Of
Who's
course.
next on the list? Strictly Business. The 76ers fan from Jersey, Primo, is now on board.
Strictly business. Ain't nobody. It's a good movie.
That's a movie? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Tommy Davidson and I forgot his first name. Phillips. That's him. Tommy Davidson. Who else was it? It's like you should watch it. It's a good movie.
Okay.
90s movie. You're a 90s kid too, so you'll
I
like
am
it.
a I was I'm a Three Ninjas kid for sure,
Yeah.
yes.
Rocky loves Emily. He loves Emily. Hey.
1991 film. We're checking
Yep.
it out. Oh,
Joseph C.
this
Phillips. Yeah,
movie.
Joseph C. Phillips. Halle Berry. There was that one. It's a good movie.
And Sam Jackson's there. Anne Marie
Yep.
Johnson. All right.
Hmm.
This is Sam Rockwell. That's a
Yeah,
familiar
he was in
name.
it. Yeah.
Wow. That's
It's a good movie.
Kim Coles.
Yep.
Wow. It's all-star cast over here.
Hmm.
Drake? Oh, John Cypher plays
He
Drake.
said,
I was in that movie. Well, he is an actor, isn't he? So the famous actor feels a little bit rattled. That's the thing about Drake, though. We can see his strategy unfold in front of us, right? Anne Marie Johnson. Oh, I think she was in In Living Color too.
I believe so.
Well, what's happening now? I think I vaguely remember her there. Interesting. Okay, okay. Anyway, rabbit hole. Let's dig ourselves out of it. So with Primo, he has Victor Wembanyama,
Ooh, easy.
right? Assuming that he's healthy and
Hmm.
good to go. He also has Jalen Johnson.
That's my guy.
Yeah, it seems like that's a theme. Everybody got hit by the injury
Yeah.
bug
That.
except for me.
Yep. That was
Every
it. I
but
mean,
every
you
year
had a
that's
good
like
team,
that, except
but
for
you had a
Luca.
good team now. Honestly, I can't take anything away from you. You had a team that was going to be hard to beat. I mean, I kept it close in our matchup. I mean, it was if I was healthy, I know I would have lost, but still kept it close. But sometimes it's the luck of the draw. But you had a good
Yeah,
team. You had a good team that complemented each other from the starting to the bench, and
yeah,
that's why you're the
still
champion.
el campeón del mundo.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we talked about, I mean, I think you said you would go with LeBron James. Hold on,
LeBron
I want
James.
to see what Santi Aldama did because I had to
He
cut
he
him.
was he really picked it up.
I had him on
I
my
know
team for a little bit,
I
and then I
know
had
27 doesn't look like a lot, but he picked it up for him.
yeah. Yeah, because he was dependent on guys who were starting
Hmm.
and the teammates that were getting the opportunities. But it looks like this is the year. And shame on me for cutting him too early. But I think I cut him right here around week 10
Hmm.
because he got hurt, and then when he got back, he wasn't averaging 20 points a game. So I said, okay, I need to move on. But I've always liked him. I've always liked him. He qualifies at center, very underrated player. Had a breakout year this year.
Hmm.
Uh, so hoping for more next season. A 7-footer looks like 24-year-old. So the Grizzlies have some talent around them, and yeah, it gets in the way of his production. But man, when he's on, yeah, he's a very very important vital piece on any fantasy team, especially in a format like this. But yeah, we're still good with LeBron James and Wembanyama, right? That's what we're going
Yeah,
with.
I mean, trust me. If you let Wembanyama go, I'm snatching him. I will tell you that.
Oh
He
my
gets
God, can you imagine Donovan
good.
Mitchell,
What? I,
Devin Booker, and Victor Wembanyama?
Wait, it'd be quicker than a hiccup, man.
Oh my
That's why I say you
goodness.
might have to let James Harden go. James Harden might take his way. I don't know. I like being up here. Now I can kind of really see, okay, who's going to complement these two right here.
Yeah.
But this year, I'm coming for blood, honestly.
Man, all that man, all this thinking just to finish in eighth place next year, huh?
Nah, we're not finishing eighth. That's
Okay. Oh yeah, we'll
not
see about
happening.
that. Yeah.
I'm coming for blood this time. It's not. I don't take losing well. Trust me, it bothers me.
That's why I have you come back every year. Like you play to win the game. I love the
Yeah,
mentality,
absolutely,
bro. I see. That's why I
absolutely.
always bring you back.
I don't like losing any sport. I mean, even my fantasy team, my actual, I took the crappiest team in our dynasty league.
Yeah.
I'm with Andrew and Sean, and I mean, my team is crappy, but I'm building it up.
Yeah.
Coming back every year, it's like giving a free $25, but I think I'm gonna get there.
You
You
only
know,
paid $25?
yeah, it's not bad at all. I'm glad because come on, paying 25 to lose every year. I'm paying $25 to freaking build a team like
Oh
from the
shit.
minors up. But like I said,
Oh
it's
damn.
got to be competitive about these
Well,
things.
damn. Now I feel bad that I'm
Should
asking for all this money. Well, shoot. The
yeah,
other a year or two ago, Melvin. Our guy Melvin.
yeah, absolutely.
He was asking, Is $100 too much?" Like, I think so. I mean, I'm good for it, but
Oh yeah, I can do it. That's not a
I mean,
problem.
the other guys might
I
get
feel some
offended.
kind of way. I'm like, but
Yeah, I tell you
damn,
what, man, with a bind like that, I mean, that we as a commissioner,
uh,
you could do a lot of damage with that. I tell you that much.
that's
You could do a lot of damage with that.
playing 100. I'm trying to take freaking advantage of every little stat I can.
Shit. Now you're really listening to the podcast. Like you're really paying attention.
Absolutely.
Who's Felipe drafting this year? I want to know
I
so I
know,
can.
right? Wait a minute.
Wait,
Oh
wait,
yeah, that's
what? Who?
some draft picks.
What? Wait, what was it? Good? Eves Missy? Who?
Oh yeah, yeah. I know, right? Write it down.
Is it
Who we
French?
got?
The French center? Like, because this is a guy I was looking, keeping an eye on, and he
Mhm.
ends up. Oh, shoot, I forgot what team we were looking at. Oh, I think this is Alex's team.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because Anthony Davis. Okay, the unibrow, AD's unibrow. Excuse me, but I was taking a really deep look at him because I know that
Hmm.
Zion was gonna get, oh my God, was gonna get hurt,
Hmm.
and he did pretty damn good
He
for a
did.
guy with no expectations. Yeah, I might keep an eye on him
20,
next year.
20 years old.
Oh hell yeah, right up my alley. That's the type of hey man, I like my players the way I like my women with high amounts of upside. Okay,
Telling Raj you talking shit.
a year or two removed from college.
There you go.
I like my women the way I like my coffee, burning the very pit of my soul. There you go.
Oh shit.
We're gonna get canceled, bro. We're gonna get
Ah,
canceled.
fuck 'em.
We're gonna lose our jobs. We're just
Hey,
playing. We're just playing
and they get
basketball.
basketball, his favorite sport. I like him when to pick the plays around the court.
Oh, shit. That's
Uh,
why we're not allowed to have shows with each other anymore because I get distracted too easily, and you just like string me along, man. Like string me along. I just alley and you oop it.
that's it.
What are we talking about here? Oh yes, who is
All right,
Alex gonna
Carlton
keep?
Jones. Oh, that's Bub. Okay, so I'm just looking at the bench. I'm like, Carlton Jones. That's Bub. Okay.
He has some good players on the bench.
I
Again, a lot
know
of
this is
injuries.
tough.
A lot of injuries, man. I feel bad for you guys. I mean, you guys paid all this money just to be my friend for the season,
Is that some
and
shit?
just to be my friend because you're not winning. Not with these injuries, no way. But you got Brandon Ingram, Darren Fox.
Crazy. That's a lot of
Uh,
points on the bench.
yeah, but again,
Shout
it's
out to
just
Alex. He was new too. We got to clap it up for him.
yeah. This is his second year, and he uh he did pretty well last year.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually he did get humbled, and this year he made the
So
playoffs.
he got
So
humbled.
he learned. I mean, because he was talking so much last year,
Mm-hmm.
but he hit a wall last season. But he was very competitive. I mean, I'm not gonna take that away from him. He's super
Mm-hmm.
competitive last year,
Yep.
and then this year, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to. I don't think he made the playoffs. If
That's
he
not
did,
enough.
no, it's not enough. Da, 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 da. Hey, so my daughter had a hot dog today. You know what the ingredients were? Well, that's one of them,
Mustard.
yeah, but it was pickles, ketchup, mustard.
There you
Uh,
go.
what was I doing? Anthony Davis, right? You have to keep Anthony Davis, or are you done? 49 games only this year, roughly half a season. I mean, Kevin Durant's also here. See, that's the
Mm,
in the
I
keeper
mean,
league. This is why it's kind of risky to take these veteran players. Yes, they have safe floors. You know what to
yeah,
expect, but you're seeing kind of like the dip on
like,
these guys, right? Kevin Durant hasn't played in a
mm-hmm,
while, and Davis is constantly hurt. And then the other two guys that
mm-hmm,
were viable options, they're off for the season. Darren Fox and Brandon
yep.
Ingram,
Yeah, you
right?
go down. Yeah, you go down, and like you're like, oh, I got KD. But once KD goes down for 14, 20 games, it can cost you, late in the season.
Yeah.
And you really got to start doing your homework. AD, I'm here in Dallas next week. He's hurt. Um, no, next day was. I mean, he got so yeah, I'm here,
Yeah.
and street clothes came back on. Poor guy.
Oh, yeah, it's
One of the most talented
unfortunate.
players in the league, but and I think he got to be one of your keepers to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're kind of pot committed. Uh, I'm trying to. Yeah, he did pretty well. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
him right here. 63 and a half points as a
Mm-hmm.
Maverick player has to
Mm-hmm.
be him right here. So that this is why you draft AD even at 32 years old with all those injuries. Let's see what he's done in the past and really quick. So
That
49
was
games
kind of
this
that
year.
was bars actually. That's
I'm
why you
sorry,
pick it.
what?
Yeah, that was bars. He said that's why you kind of pick AD with all these injuries. It was kind of like a
Oh, I didn't even notice.
bar.
Rap so sweet, you barely noticed. Wait until you hear my Eminem impersonation. No, no, I got none. I got none. Cause it's orange. So yeah, AD, KD, OG, all these two-letter acronyms. Yeah, OG Anunoby, AD, KD,
Uh, AP
KP. Oh my God, yes, KP. Yeah, keep.
did this
Yeah,
on purpose.
I think he did it on purpose, and it's orange. But getting back to AD, yeah, he's the games are just simply not there. Although 2020 doesn't. Yeah, I guess we're gonna count it. 36
Yeah, I
games,
guess so.
but 40, 56 games, 76
Yeah.
last year, but then
Hmm.
now 50 if he's lucky this year. That's what he's on pace for. So
Hmm.
it's a hell of a leap of faith. If you do end up keeping Anthony Davis, you got to play it super safe for the rest of the draft,
Yeah,
and
good time.
it's not an easy task. Same thing with if you keep Kevin Durant, then yeah, you got to play it super safe. The one thing I will say, if you do keep Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant, you got your two centers right there.
Oh, easy, easily.
Yeah, as long as they qualify. I don't know what CBS's thing is, but oh, actually
Hmm.
no, Kevin Durant, no, he doesn't qualify. Does he? Let me see.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, he does. Just double checking.
Man, he's 7 foot.
Yeah, yeah. I know he doesn't like being listed as a center or
It's so
whatever.
good.
Actually, he doesn't like being listed as a 7 footer either. It's like this is the opposite of the height thing. This guy's actually trying to shrink himself to look smaller. But anyway, so yeah, well, yeah, Darren Fox is one, but how severe was that injury again?
Mm,
Finger. Okay,
okay.
he let a finger let it linger. Okay,
But you also gotta think,
it
um,
stingers.
yeah, but you gotta think if he plays him and Wimby is gonna be a formidable duo for a long time.
Yeah.
So you gotta think of he's gonna be able to score, he's gonna get his assists, he's gonna they don't call him swiper for no reason. So you wanna go young. Yeah, I mean, you got AD
Yeah.
to hold you down at the center position, or you can go Fox. I mean, I like Fox. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I've always liked Fox too. I almost drafted him. Was
mhm,
it this year or last year? I don't know what year it was, but I had too many guards at that time, so I decided
mhm,
not to. And I always wondered if that would have been the smart thing to do. But
mhm.
whatever, I won the championship this year, so everything I did was smart.
That's it.
But yeah, I agree. Davis and Fox. That's my final answer. And there's still a good chance that he gets KD with the
Oh yeah,
10th pick overall.
oh yeah, I can see it happening.
So now we're getting down to our last two. We're going back to Bob's team, Team Milliken. I'm strong to the finish because I eat my spinach. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm strong to the finish because my name's Bob Milliken. I'm Bob Milliken, the Sailor Man.
Second,
Perks of being in a league like this with me that I get to sing a jingle about you. Are we keeping Nikola Jokic?
what question was that?
Okay.
That's like man.
Is
Michael,
the water blue?
I mean, yeah, like what?
Is the grass green?
Maybe, but yeah, that's the easiest. That I mean, it's the easiest pick ever. Well, two of them. I mean, Ant-Man and Joker. I mean, it's like a
Yeah, you're not looking at Giddy. You're not looking
no,
at Jackson
no,
Vucevic.
oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
You
All right. I'm not no argument for me. I do like Edwards.
can't go wrong.
Yeah. Only thing that's more productive than Anthony Edwards on the court production is off his court production. You saw how
Like,
efficient he was with that child support, bro. Oh my God.
that's crazy. He said, "All right, that's what we're gonna do."
They're
Anthony,
here.
yeah, you
Yeah.
smart.
Whatever. I'm gonna sign a third contract in the NBA, and I'll be able to afford all my mistakes. Just you know what? I
Oh
was surprised,
man.
Jake. I was surprised that none of the women went up to him and goes, $18 million, in one lump sum. Man, that's not enough. Da 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 da
Hey,
da
well,
da.
get it out the way, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, get it out the way. I don't know.
Get get it on my system. Oh, you're
Yeah,
talking about AD. I thought you were talking about
yeah.
my singing. My bad,
Oh
my bad.
no, 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 no. Let's talk about Ant-Man.
Now,
I
unfortunately,
mean,
I don't have any fancy schmancy devices that start playing jingles. That's why I'm doing my own voices, my own voiceovers and shit. But I don't have nothing that plays music, but I will do. Like every time I saw my team, that's the Jack Harlow's Tyler Hero would play in my background. My team has fixed my jumper. I'm the 12th pick overall, and we already talked about this. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. and
I
Cade
love it.
Cunningham as my two keepers. I'm not even
Okay.
thinking about it, unless I should think about it. What do you tell me what
What?
that means?
Tell me what that means. All right. Wait, wait, since you said
No,
it.
no,
All right. Okay, so well, nope, not that one, sorry. But I mean you can go cat, but
yeah,
I mean Shay and Cade, you can't go wrong.
it's 100 points between them,
I
guaranteed.
mean,
Apparently,
yeah, you really can't go wrong with it. Like an easy decision.
like see, because my thing is, if you can score 300 points, you're
Mhm.
giving yourself a really good chance to win.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting 100 points from two players,
that and then you just fill out the rest. See,
and I just
that's
fill
it.
out the rest. Yeah,
Cade Cunningham is just getting started. Like really,
yeah,
this was the first year where you really saw that he can take over every single game he plays in, and it was just amazing to watch. He's living up to that billing. 23 years old. I
yeah,
mean, does everything on the floor, triple double threat. I love the triple double threats. I mean, I say
yeah.
it a lot, but
Same, same,
oh my god, if you could,
same,
I could get Russell Westbrook back in the day. You damn right I was getting him.
same,
Um,
same.
but again, SGA is the same way. You just look at his team in OKC. Why would you not take him as a keeper? It's easy,
Yeah.
too easy. Two cornerstone pieces at the guard positions.
And this guy qualifies as small forward too,
As
by the
far
way.
forward, like yeah, you cannot go wrong.
No, I love it, man. Yeah, it's gonna be great. The only concern is I don't know if I'm gonna be able to duplicate my big man position, which I
Mm,
still say that ended up being the key. Obviously, having SGA and Cade Cunningham helped immensely, but yeah, having all those centers on my team really did and it's just. I mean, you got the usual cast of characters with Kat and
mhm.
Adebayo who qualify at center, but the fact that these two guys, I will say this
Yep.
until I turn blue, that Okongwu and Duren were able to develop as the season went on is just, it's a thing of beauty, man. It's like this is the stuff that I always talk about. Yeah, you need the young guys. This is why you can chase after upside. This is why you don't draft players on your favorite team. I have no Bulls players, man. I mean, it sucks, but I want to win. I don't want to look cute out here. I don't want to. Well, at least I get to root for my favorite player. Like I could do that too. It's called compartmentalization. But I want to win. No Bulls players. I
There
got
you
two Jazz players, two Pistons players, two Warriors players, and that's it. I even have a Knicks player, two Heat players.
go. Look at you go.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, three Pistons players if you count Dennis Schroeder.
Screw the time.
Share the time. So yeah, man. But that's the anatomy of what a championship caliber team looks like. Will people listen to me finally and do as I say? Probably not. I mean, I could still see Aaron drafting like six Raptor players or Raptor players that used to play for Toronto, and she'll still get them because they used to play for Toronto. And Mike's still gonna chase after the Pacers players, and you and Pinos are gonna chase after Knicks players, and Harry's gonna get
Depends.
involved.
It all
Huh?
depends who it is. Like the one thing I will say I make my own picks, but if they're not going to produce, I won't really, I won't mess with them. That's my
Yeah,
number one. They got
yeah.
to produce.
I mean, that's the way you got to do it, right? So, so that's it, man. That's the cat. It's not the end of the very first season of the Total Buckets podcast. I still want to come in every once in a while and maybe talk some playoff basketball. Check out some of the advanced stats over at the NBA playoffs, at the NBA website. Something I do every once in a while when I'm on this. We check out the sortable stats at NBA.com. Last time we were on here, we found out that Michael Jordan truly was the king of the mid range and by a landslide. But there was a lot of guys that were shooting a lot of mid range shots. I mean, not as much as MJ, but definitely more than DeMar DeRozan. I can tell you that much. And I would like to take a look at that as the season goes on. And most importantly, I would love to go back and covering the NBA draft. And it might be too much for me because the way I want to do things,
Mm.
it might be too much. But I want to chronicle it. But maybe I'll dumb it down. And I envision, like, there's that word again. I have a vision here, Jacob. I envision that the NBA draft will be the end of season one of the Total Buckets podcast. What do you think about that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
right.
like a plan.
All right. Well, if you're up for it, I'll invite you back. If
Hmm.
not, maybe someone else will take your spot while you pick and choose when you can come on. But I thank you so much for showing up tonight, bro. It meant a lot to me.
Yeah,
Partaking in this victory lap of mine of sorts. Any last
word.
words from you, bro?
I'm coming next year. I'm
That's
just
what she said.
not repeat. Yeah, hell yeah. Just don't expect a repeat. Like I said, it's, it's definitely. But congratulations. Like I said, it's well deserved. You did your research. You made the correct moves, and honestly, to be a champion, you got to make the correct moves pretty much every single time.
Yeah,
What a run! It's crazy. Only one loss, which is
I still can't believe it.
I listen. Hey, believe it, it happens.
I mean,
We're
yeah, I mean,
human.
I was there, and I didn't even work that hard. Like, I mean, I did and I didn't. I worked harder before. I can assure you.
Uh,
And you've seen what I've done for baseball. You see my
yeah.
spreadsheets.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
crazy, but no, I just kept it simple this year. And when you got a guy like SGA, everything just falls to pieces. But
Mhm.
it was a lot of mock drafting. So that's also part of the secret sauce. Do some mock drafts,
Mhm.
practice, but also yeah, take the time, look at the projections, and do your own, and try to figure out how to do your own rankings.
Mhm.
Really, you know, because that's your job as a human is, are these numbers correct? Is it going to be higher or lower? And is
Mhm.
this player really capable of getting 28 points a game? Like, who
Mhm.
else is on that team? And that was a lot. It was a lot of vision, a lot of internal, my third eye, so to speak. I was envisioning a lot of this with my eyes closed. And is it possible for player X to get 35 to 35 fantasy points per game?
Mhm.
Who else is on that team? Can this guy coexist with James Harden, or can this guy coexist with Devin Booker? Examples like that, and age has to take into account. I mean, like I said, I didn't have any old guys except for Draymond Green, but I mean, Draymond Green, I got him with house money basically.
Pretty
Um,
much.
and I think I'm so glad you pointed this out too. But yeah, it just seemed like every move I made was the correct one, which is, do you realize how hard that is
It is. It's freaking
in
tough.
in any fantasy sport, even basketball?
Mhm.
It is damn near impossible. Even you've seen our waiver wire. It's lacking
Mhm.
because we have
I
deep
mean, you really
benches.
have to dig. You have to dig because everybody that plays in that league is knowledgeable at the game. It's like I don't think there's one person that was just like, no. Everybody had it. It was just that's like a Jared McCain. Like I'll just throw this out like a Jared McCain. Like I saw him. I'm like, okay, I'm watching it. NBA TV helps, but you know, you just watch it. Wait a minute. Let me see if he's available right quick. As he's having a big game. Yup, pick him up.
Yeah,
You know, it happens, but like I said, it's all about paying attention. Like even though like I had a rough year, I was paying attention to it. I tried to stick with my lineups. Like, oh, okay, maybe he'll come back and do it. Didn't happen.
yeah.
Got to make simple adjustments. It's all about adjustments. Every sport you play, adjustments.
Preach.
Um, just gotta know which ones to make.
No,
Gotta
that's
know when to
exactly
hold
right.
them. Gotta know
Uh,
when to hold. When to
yeah,
fold.
yeah. Fold them and hold them. Got it. Who the hell wrote that? Kenny Rogers? Is that the guy's
Yep,
name?
there you go.
Uh, Kenny Moses over here. Um,
Right.
no, but you're right. That's the name of the game. And but yeah, it's honestly I don't even know how. I don't know, man. It's clearly it was satisfying, and it was made punctuated by just a worthy competitor in Bob, but it was just a crazy year for me. Like no matter what I did, it just was the right move,
Mhm.
and that's so rare. It's so rare because and, a guy like me, I always dwell too much on my losses
Mhm.
and never give myself enough credit for the wins.
Yep,
And
same
then
way.
this in this league, well, yeah, even like you saw me, like, oh, I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to see if it's official.
Mhm.
And it took me until Wednesday tonight that when we're recording for me to finally feel comfortable. Okay, I think today would be a good day to kind of run
Mhm.
my victory lap because if I don't do it today, it's never gonna happen. Um, but it just seemed like no matter what I did, it was the right move, and it's so rare to have that feeling because as you know, Jacob, it's you pick up a player and then he does bad, and then you're back to the
Mhm.
trend, you go back to the drawing board, and
Yep.
then that next player does bad, and then and
Mhm.
it just becomes a string. Like, man, do I know what I'm doing? Oh, I
Mhm.
also I wanted to point out before I forget, I love how you mentioned the NBA TV. because sometimes I'll watch NBA TV and like, hey, who's that guy? Hey, wait a minute, this guy's. Oh,
Right.
well, hold on.
Wait.
What's the box score? Let's see. And I start doing the math in my head. What? So 12 points, 5 assists. That's 25 points. 3 steals. Oh snap! That's roughly
Hmm.
what? Uh, oh my God, 34 points, fantasy points. Is he available?
Hmm.
And yeah, and then so I'm glad that I'm not the only one who watches NBA TV and like, oh,
100%.
I'm looking for the next fantasy player on my team there. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, we can talk forever. But yeah, thank you so much again for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it, and we look forward to getting you back on the show and getting you back and see what you come up with for next season in our fantasy
Oh,
basketball
yeah.
draft.
Absolutely. I'll be ready.
Awesome. Well, for Jacob, I'm Felipe. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Sir.